Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the RJ Football channel on YouTube. Thank you for joining me today. I just want to start off by saying Ryan and I are doing a lot of work right now with breaking down the film of the draft picks. We're going to continue to get to that as much as we can tomorrow. You're going to have the Nick Bolton film. I think Ryan might actually do another one on him as well. He's also going to hit Noah Gray. So make sure you're looking up for that. Also, you also know that I work at the Fantasy Football Astronauts. For those of you that are interested in fantasy football, they do a lot of great work over there. They still have a ton of videos you can go watch for draft picks and any break down any of the draft picks you want. You can go watch a video on them. And I want to give you guys a little sneak peek of something that I did. I broke down 20 wide receivers for the draft in terms of, based on a grading scale. My grades were the best out of the entire group over there. I was the most accurate in terms of draft position based on where I had my grades. So that's just a little bit of tidbit of information for you guys. If you want to go check all that stuff out there, the rookie guide is great. And as you know, I'm going to continue to break down all the film here with Ryan. So let's get into today's rant. I want to start off with something completely off topic because I'm really upset about it. Last week I was supposed to get my desk. I was supposed to get my entire setup actually, my chair, my desk, everything, so I could set up my new computer on it and I could get going. So the truck got on base. I was actually pulling past it as it was trying to check in on base. So I get home, I get everything ready to go so they can come in and bring all of our stuff in, not even just my desk, but we bought a new entertainment center. We bought a new coffee table. We bought a dresser for my daughter. We bought, a bed frame. A ton of stuff was supposed to be coming here and get put together. And this guy that had been driving the truck had been on base at least 3 to 5 times in the last month and 2 months. So go figure. The one time they say you need to apply for a new pass to get on base, it's with my delivery. So I have to wait another month for my stuff, which I cannot tell you how upset I am about not getting my setup yet. I still have to use this setup with the couch and the blanket and my laptop. It's incredibly frustrating. So I do apologize for everything. I can't wait to get it all set up for you guys so I can actually break down film better than I have been doing and just being able to do some new things with the video. So I'm very sorry about that. Just off the top there. So now back into football related topics. We're gonna talk about something that really kind of frustrates me, and I don't have any idea why it does. But the Chiefs have yet to release their rookie draft, their rookie pick numbers. They don't have them out yet. What's going on? Not even just that, the UDFA entire list hasn't been released yet. We don't know what's going on over there. And to be completely honest with you, I want to know what number Cornell Powell is actually going to wear. Is he going to wear 14? I assume he's going to. I want to know what number Creed Humphrey is going to wear. Let him wear 69. I would be so happy about that. It'd be great. But I want to know what these guys are going to wear. And I don't know why I get irrationally upset about it. Maybe it's because teams have already done it. I think most of the NFL teams have already done it. And I can't understand what is so important about not releasing the rookie numbers that you just can't do it now. Like, this is being recorded on Tuesday afternoon, and this will be released Tuesday evening. So if you guys are watching this and they had just released it, I'm sorry. I'm still upset about it that it took this long. So you're going to have to deal with it too. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I want to see some really just numbers. And the other thing is just numbers. I don't get mad about the schedule being released Wednesday, which is a whole nother issue that people are still going off about. Y'all know who the teams are that the Chiefs are playing and the other teams are going to play. I don't really care when it happens. I don't care. They can play whenever they want to. We already know who they're going to play. Like, come on, this is ridiculous. But I don't know what numbers these guys are going to wear. I need to know. I need to know now. And I just can't understand what's so difficult about releasing the numbers for everybody to see. So please, I apologize. But I'm very upset about it. And I really want them to release it. If they're going to wait until like Thursday before minicamp start or rookie minicamp starts on Friday, I'm not going to be a happy camper. So with that said, I'm going to go a little bit out of the Chiefs' realm for a second because I think it's kind of funny to talk about the whole Aaron Rodgers situation, which is very interesting. There is a whole topic outside of him even playing football that becomes relevant to the situation. We think there's an opportunity or a possibility that he retires and actually becomes the Jeopardy host. I did a little bit of research on this. He's got some of the best reviews in terms of people that they've had being the guest hosts. up to now. LeVar Burton still has to go. He has not done anything yet that I'm aware of. He may be this week, he may be next week. I'm not entirely sure when that's going to happen, but I do know that Aaron Rodgers has the best, reviews out of everybody that's done it so far. So the possibility of having that job security for the next 30 to 40 years is maybe a little bit appealing to Aaron Rodgers. But let's get into the nitty gritty inside the Green Bay Packers organization. So let's take it back to 2020's NFL draft. And this was my first draft live with you guys. And if you remember correctly, I said, why would you go from the second round back into the first round to draft a quarterback that should not be taken in the first round? First off, he's not there. He's a second, probably a third round player. And they went up to get him. And he is easily 2 to 3 years away from being ready to play in an NFL game, much less be a productive quarterback. Last year, he was inactive the entire time. He's inactive all season. He never played one snap. He didn't do anything outside of being the scout QB, from what I know. And now it's come out that there are a ton of people in the Green Bay organization that don't have a clue what Jordan Love is, what he looks like, what he's doing, what he could have done last year. So this whole situation that Green Bay has put themselves in, it's absolutely, one, hilarious, and two, kind of reminiscent of what they did with Brett Favre, except Brett Favre went off and played somewhere else, and then Aaron Rodgers took over. But they don't have a quarterback ready to do that. They're trying to get guys like Chad Kelly in the building to see what they can do. This whole situation has been one of the more funny things that I've gotten to witness in a football sense over the last, I don't know how many years. And watching it happen to the Packers, who don't have an actual owner, makes it just even that sweeter, because they're technically owned by the fans. So you guys need to have an owner. This kind of stuff is ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers is unhappy. He deserves to be pretty much given whatever he wants to be given. And the fact of the matter is, they've offered him a huge contract. And he basically said no, because I want you essentially to write up that I'm going to be the starting quarterback for as long as I want. I don't understand why you drafted Jordan Love, because I'm going to be here. I want to play into my mid 40s like Tom Brady's doing. So Aaron Rodgers is here. He's ready to be somewhere else, I think. And I think there's a little bit of a rumor out there that he's reached out to other players trying to coordinate, maybe you guys can come here and I can come play there. So he's trying to get out of Green Bay. And whether it's in Denver or not, if he comes to Denver, it's going to make the AFC West the best division in football, and it's not close. It's not close. Oh, maybe it's a little close. NFC West is competitive, especially now that Matt Stafford is there. So it may be close with those two, but that's it. You got the AFC West and the NFC West, the two powerhouses in the NFL, and they could be sending teams to the Super Bowl, back and forth for a few years. So that situation has been fun to delve out in and of itself. But again, the Packers went out and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and trade up to draft the future quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. But they didn't even ask Aaron Rodgers about how long he figured on playing. They didn't ask him. They didn't even tell him they were going to do it. So whatever happens to them is all on the Green Bay Packers. And I would love to see him just leave and be like, guess what? Jordan Love is your quarterback. What are you going to do about it? Because he's not very good. And I wasn't very impressed with his college tape. So very fun. Now we get to a topic that we all love, and it's an every year thing. Another post has come out the last few days about how could this be the Chargers year? Man, this is one of those things you love to see every year. And as much as I love Justin Herbert, he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think their offense is going to be great. They cannot figure out how to keep people healthy, whether it's on the defensive side or whether it's on the offensive side. They lost, obviously, Melvin Ingram. They're going to have some pass rush. They'll be fine in the pass rush department with Jerry Tillery. They might even kick him out the edge. I don't know what they're going to do over there. And Wolfster's a pretty good edge. They also still have Joey Bosa. But they've not been able to keep anybody healthy. And Derwin James has played one healthy season, I think, in his career. And he's coming off two separate season-ending injuries. Now hopefully he plays this year, because the Chargers do have the best bet, in my opinion, as constructed right now, to compete with the Chiefs for the AFC West title. And that's going to be a fun battle with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert going forward. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But we can't keep doing this whole thing about how the Chargers can do it this year. They can do it this year. Wait until they're actually competitive, and then you can say this can be their year, because they haven't been competitive. Last year they had a very good offense. They won like 5 or 6 games or 7 games. Sorry, they did rattle off a few at the end of the season to get to 7-9. I think that they weren't very good. They won't beat the Chiefs in the last game of the season because the Chiefs rested their starters. Like, this is ridiculous. We got to stop with projecting the Chargers to do anything until they actually do it. Now, this could actually be a year that they finally get it together. They have a very good defense. They have a very good offense. Now, they can be healthy. Sure, they definitely could be competitive. But for a team that has yet to even show that they can be in the AFC West race lately, it's laughable. And continuing to perpetuate this notion is probably what's given them some of the bad luck they've had with injuries. The whole Tyrod Taylor situation last year. Granted, it worked out for the best because he didn't end up suing them, and it allowed them to see Justin Herbert, who wasn't going to see the field. When that is the quarterback you have, Anthony Lynn was adamant that that Tyrod Taylor was going to be the quarterback. I don't know what was going through his head, but that was nonsense. And Justin Herbert may never have won Rookie of the Year award. He may never have set the records for rookies had Anthony Lynn continued to put him on the bench. So I'm glad that he was able to do that because he's a great quarterback, and it's going to be fun to see him in this league throughout his career, especially against Patrick Mahomes. So that's just to stop the whole Chargers year nonsense until they actually start to compete with the Chiefs in terms of winning and losing at the top of the division. Like that's the thing. You got to do it first. So let's just go ahead and wait and see because that's all you can do with the Chargers. They're going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. And I don't want it to be Derwin James because he's a phenomenal player. He makes Travis Kelce better by playing against him. He's one of the only players the last 5-6 years that's been able to cover him one-on-one successfully. So yes, I would like to see him play against Kelce because it helps him get better, even if he's getting older. So I hope he stays healthy. I hope that they compete because the division's better when it's just competitive football making everybody better. In my honest opinion, I know people want to see steamrolling teams, but that's what the Raiders are for, right? Like they're continuously being rolled over, so I'm not too worried about it. So we're gonna end this little rant session here with the wide receiver depth on the Chiefs. And I think we talked a little bit about it on Monday, but I personally believe that Byron Pringle should be the number 2 wide receiver on this team, period. Like I don't think that in 2 wide receiver sets, it should be Tyreek Hill and Byron Pringle. And we've obviously talked a little bit about the whole comparison because you have 2 speed guys in Mecole Hardman and Tyreek Hill who really get a lot of the accolades and the notice from being that fast. But Byron Pringle, he's still a 4.4 guy. He can run fast. He not only can he run fast, he can make you miss. He's got pretty good footwork for a guy who came out of Kansas State who wasn't very highly regarded, undrafted free agent. I think he runs very good routes. I think he can get open, do a lot of the things that Sammy Watkins could do, but he can stay on the field. So, and he's probably a better returner than Mecole Hardman is. So at the end of the day, we need to stop comparing wide receivers on the roster. They all offer different things. That's the reason that the Chiefs went and got Cornell Powell in the 5th round of this last draft because he's different. He's not just a burner who the last, Mecole Hardman, the last wide receiver that the Chiefs drafted, I believe, is a burner and he's a slot guy. I don't think he can be on the outside. I think Powell can give you multiple options in the slot on the outside. He can do a lot of those things. He and Byron Pringle are very similar in what they do. I think Powell's a much more refined route runner coming out. He played against a better competition. Yes, it was a small sample size, but the Chiefs said it themselves. What he did in his final 6 games of his career at Clemson was just as good, if not better, than what a lot of the wide receivers that were going in the first round did. And I tend to agree with that. I watched his tape. I think he's got a great skill set for the NFL. He's going to add a lot of special teams know-how right away. He's going to be a chemistry guy. I think he's going to be a chemistry guy right away. And I think that playing with Trevor Lawrence will help him get into this fold with Patrick Mahomes because we're talking about guys that are now highly regarded in terms of generational talent. Patrick Mahomes is the generational talent standard. He was the 10th pick in the 2017 draft. The Chiefs traded up to get him. Not many people knew why, but now we know why because he actually is a generational talent. And I don't believe that Lawrence is in the same mold as him. I think that Mahomes can do much more in terms of outside of his first read. But again, it's all about the college offense. And Lawrence was not asked to do a whole lot. So we're going to see this year Maybe, depending on what Urban Meyer wants to do. If you've played for Urban Meyer before, you can just come in. You just come in and get on the squad. I mean, Tim Tebow's here now. They tried to hire some bad coach, strength and conditioning coach from Iowa. I think he had to fire him within a day. I don't know what Urban Meyer's doing over there, but it's a bunch of nonsense. I think he's going to get fired after this year. I don't think what he's doing is a good job. And then he drafted a replacement for James Robinson, who was a great draft, a great undrafted free agent running back last year. And they just said, hey, we're going to draft Travis Etienne in the first round when we have tons of other holes on our roster. So makes sense. Oh, enough with that tangent there. But again, I think that it's going to work out much more similar to this. I think Robinson's back as the 3 in terms of being on the outside and taking off some roles from Byron Pringle. So it's going to be Tyreek Hill. I think it's going to be Pringle, Robinson, Hardman, and then Powell. I think that's how it's going to work out. And it's going to be difficult to see what they do. They brought a lot. They've got some undrafted free agents. They have, other guys down that they brought in, Antonio Callaway and guys like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. But I personally believe that Powell not only makes this roster, but I think he's going to push for playing time at the wide receiver position, unless Byron Pringle takes that from, everybody. He needs to work and get more reps under his belt. This is the year for him and McCole Hardman. They both need to allow Powell to learn the offense. If he's forced into more playing time, guess what? That means that Byron Pringle and McCole Hardman aren't working out, and he needs to get in the field because he's the most talented wide receiver they have next on the list. I think he's actually the most talented guy they have outside of Tyreek Hill. If I'm being completely honest, he can do more things. He's very, very multiple wide receivers. So that's how I think it's going to shake out. And I enjoyed doing this for you guys. Getting a little more off the cuff, like I've mentioned multiple times, is definitely where I think I thrive as not only an analyst, but as like a talker. I feel like it's more energetic and it's more fun to listen to. So I hope you guys had fun listening to this, multiple different topics, and we're going to continue to try and work this in our routine as we go along. You guys, please, I appreciate all of the support. Ryan and I have really appreciated the support with the draft, and we're going to continue all this offseason. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great week. Look forward to that Nick Bolton video tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.